What's up, everybody? Fame Rothstein here. Fame Rothstein Sports Investing Show. Today is, Tuesday, April 14th, 2020. It's about 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here in the beautiful, lovely Queen City, a.k.a. the Republic of Cincinnati. And like I always tell you about this time, uh, if I have sports wagering, sports investing information on here, you probably shouldn't listen. Well, this time I don't. Just going to give you a little Rothstein rant. I know I wasn't supposed to come back until next week, but something kind of arose. And pardon me right now, the barbershops are closed. I'm looking like the Black Bob Ross, but I'm about to paint a picture for you, okay? What arose was Christian McCaffrey. There's a lot of people on social media right now upset that Christian McCaffrey got I think an average of 16 million a year or something like that. 4 years, 64 million, whatever it is. And they said he only got that because of one thing. He's white. In case you didn't know, Christian McCaffrey, he's the son of Ed McCaffrey, former NFL wide receiver, and I think his mom ran track for whatever college she went to. It might have been Stanford. I think that's where her parents met, at Stanford. Where his parents met was at Stanford. But listen, or she was a soccer player or something. She did something where speed was required. That's why he's so fast. Let's just get right into it. As you know, I don't really like to get into the racial aspects of a lot of things, but this is one of those things where sports business and race intersect. First of all, Christian McCaffrey, let's just say this right off top. He deserves that loot. He deserves the loot. Might not be the best running back. Well, he's not my favorite. I don't know if he's the best skill-wise. I'll leave that up to you all. I mean, there's plenty of other guys. I personally like Derrick Henry, a big back who can run like that. Big, strong back who can run like that. But I'll take McCaffrey. He's not going to get ran down many times in a game, in a season. He's not going to get ran down many times. Led the league in last season, 2019 season. He led them in yards from scrimmage. I think he had, just short of 2,400 yards from scrimmage. Like 1,500 passing. And I don't know. He might have had 1,000 and 1,000. He had a hell of a year for a bad team. He deserves to get paid. I don't care what color he is. You get these guys like Chuck Modi who's trying to... I don't know why the fuck Chuck Modi even exists in the sports world. He's terrible. I call him the Sean King of sports. Like, you just in the way, dude. You trying to sell us on Geno Smith. Geno Smith got punched by a teammate because he stiffed him on $600 or something like that. I don't know the whole particulars of it. Something involving a plane ticket and whatnot. Don't nobody punch a quarterback. He's an unlikable guy. But not to diss Geno Smith. We're talking about Christian McCaffrey. Cam was hurt. He had to cover. He had to take. Cam Newton was hurt. Now Cam Newton's gone, or will be gone. Christian had to take the load for the offense with the young rookie, Kyle Allen. I believe that was his name, Kyle Allen. He had a nice 2-3 games. Once the league figured out his tendencies, he was trash. I don't mean to call him trash. He wasn't very effective. Okay, Christian stepped up and was consistent the whole time. I don't want to hear it. And let's be honest, okay? Let's be honest. I think it was Peyton Hillis. He was the last white running back to rush for 1,000. I'm going to look that up right quick. He was the last white running back to rush for 1,000 before Christian McCaffrey. Peyton Hillis of the Browns. And then before that, you got I want to say that was 2005 or something like that. I'm going to look it up, though. I'm looking it up. Pardon me. And before that, you got to go back to 1987, Craig James. Craig James of the, remember him from the Pony Express? He's on, he used to be on college football TV, I believe on ESPN. I don't know what exactly he's doing. But yeah, here it comes. It's coming up now. Peyton Hillis. Okay, yeah, his best year was 2010. Played all 16 games, 270 rushes for 1,177 yards. Come on now. And then you go back to before that, the last white running back to have 1,000 yards in a season was Craig James? Stop it. Christian, that's part of the business of it. Christian McCaffrey is a novel. Well, I don't want to say he's a novelty, but he's an anomaly at least, and that's part of the business of it. He gives, I gotta be honest with you. When I lived near Columbus, Ohio, I was working covering high school sports. Did some Ohio State as well, and I'm in one of the remote counties, one of the sideline counties, covering sports. And these weren't even suburban teams; these were like rural teams, most of them. There wasn't a black running back in there in the whole damn county. I think it was 8 teams that I covered, something like that. There wasn't one black running back in the whole county, one Latino running back. All the running backs were white, and I'm sitting there covering them like, damn, ain't none of y'all gonna play in college. Not because you're not good, but or you're not gonna play Division I. Ain't none of y'all gonna play Division I. Not because they weren't good or didn't have the size or speed. It's just, let's be honest, they don't look for white running backs. The white running back has the same plight as the black quarterback. Yes, I like to see black quarterbacks get paid too, but McCaffrey's earned this. Let him rock. Stop that. He don't deserve it. He only got it because he was white. Nah, I ain't buying that. That dude's good. That kid is good. That is a good ball player right there. He comes from NFL pedigree. He's got natural speed. I guess that's part of it. You got the stereotype. That's one thing about sports in the locker room. Charles Barkley, I believe this was quoted to Charles Barkley, allegedly said that, the locker room is racist, sexist, and homophobic, and I miss it. Good and damn well, if you've played with people of another race, you've heard stuff, all you slow white boys, all you black guys can jump, things like that. And Christian McCaffrey, he gives hope to these, white running backs playing high school football. That's part of the sports business. People are going to pay money to see him. Especially white people. They're going to pay the money to see him. He puts butts in the seats. Kind of like Deion Sanders in his last couple years of baseball. Even the manager, I just remember this specifically because it happened here in the Republic of Cincinnati. Bob Boone. He was mad that the GM signed him. He said, quote, "I don't know how much longer Sanders is going to be able to practice up here." Totally shitted on him. You know what I'm saying? But why was Deion signed? Because the Reds were trash, and Deion put butts in the seats because he was Deion. The multi-sport athlete. He had a couple nice years in baseball. I ain't gonna front. He had a couple, especially when he was with the Braves. He had some really nice years. But yeah, pardon me, I shaved a little bit, but I still look like a black Bob Ross. See that, fro? But listen, Christian McCaffrey, he's going to put butts in the seats. He's going to pay for his contract. He's a traveling roadshow, an anomaly. Let's go see the white fast guy. Same thing happened with Jason Sehorn. And Jason Sehorn was nowhere near as good as Christian McCaffrey. Jason Sehorn played cornerback. He was all right. He was just a white dude that was, out there getting busy at a position you don't usually see white dudes at. He was okay. I mean, I remember Carl Pickens got him a couple times. It wasn't that, but I think he had a game-sealing pick against the Bengals that game too, if I'm not mistaken. But he wasn't, he wasn't all that. That's part of the sports business. These white owners, their grandkids. You want them to be like, who your grandkid gonna relate to more, Derrick Henry or Christian McCaffrey? And he's a normal-sized guy. Derrick Henry's like 6'3", 240. Something like that. Christian McCaffrey's like 5'9". Normal-sized guy. He's just fast. Now I've always wondered, with some of these rule changes in the NFL about contact and whatnot at the line of scrimmage, I'm just going to say this. All of a sudden, there was a lot more white wide receivers. Your Jordy Nelsons. Don't get me wrong, there was always a Don Beebe somewhere floating around, but he was mostly on special teams. But all of a sudden, you start seeing all these white wide receivers who were kind of good. Jordy Nelson, Welker, what's his name? What's the other guy name? Amendola. What's the other guy's name, though? Edelman. That's what I'm thinking of. Edelman. Then you start seeing white DBs, Harrison Smith of the Vikings. Things like that. Okay? It's not like white people just all of a sudden got fast. But that, it's not that's not what happened. Rule changes and everything, kind of helped the things, but the rule changes didn't really affect Christian. He comes from NFL pedigree. So his dad telling him what to expect, probably telling him, hey, you're going to be a minority and there's nothing like you've ever seen before. Probably can mentally condition him on that way. That kid is good. That kid can play, and he deserves that contract because he fills the seats. Now, I hope Derrick Henry gets somewhere near that 15, 16, 17 million. Hope he gets that. But because I like Derrick Henry, I've never seen a dude that big and fast. And he's always been that big and fast since he was at Alabama. But, lay off of Christian McCaffrey, all right? He deserves his money, all right? Let him rock, and understand the sports business of it. It's kind of much like the situation that was going on with the Atlanta Hawks a couple years ago. They were talking about, we don't have any white players, but all our paying customers are white. That's kind of part of sports business. That's the only real place where sports and the general society intersect. The business end of it. It is what it is. Okay, you've got to accept it. All right. Now you can check out the podcast. I also did a podcast on this. It's on Anchor, Spotify, Anchor.fm, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Breaker, Stitcher. You can check it out on those and a few other platforms. Fame Rothstein Sports Investing Show, same thing. Before you go, like and subscribe to this show right now on YouTube. Like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. All right, and unless something else pops up this week, you probably won't see me again until Monday. All right, and again, once the sports books open back up, regularly, we'll be giving regular picks on the podcast and on here on YouTube. And definitely will be out for the for some NFL draft props, all right, next week, all right? So that's all I got. Just been reading all this stuff about Christian McCaffrey, and it's really been kind of chapping my ass. I'm not mad at that kid for getting paid. I understand the racial part of it, but I also understand the business part of it, okay? I ain't mad at that kid. Let him rock. He deserves that money. He's good. He's good. He's that good. He's that kind of good. Now running backs, they have a short lifespan in the NFL. He could probably get hurt. I don't know how much of it's guaranteed, but $16 million a year, he deserves that. Okay, he's earned that. He has earned that. Derrick Henry, he probably won't. He probably won't, at least from the Titans, because they gave Tannehill so much money. Tannehill had a good turnaround, got him to the playoffs, but, and then when the money was on the line, Steve Tannehill became Steve Tannehill, or what's his name, Ryan Tannehill, whatever, became the same player he's always been. I wouldn't have given him that much money. I don't think he deserved $30 million a year, however much he got. You should have been thinking about Henry. But, hey, some of it is the what they call the birth certificate lottery when it's time to sign your contract. And what money's available. And is the owner willing to pay you? It's a white owner in Carolina, Christian McCaffrey's team. It's a white owner. I'm not mad at none of that, okay? We kill that racial stuff about this. That kid, he's played to earn that money, all right? That's all I got for you today, or right now anyway, and I will holler at you soon. So if you sign up for notifications and subscribe, you'll get the videos when I drop them. But, hey, everybody be safe, stay COVID-free, and I'll holler at you soon. Be safe. Love y'all.